I'm only gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop playing with me, man.
Gillie Da Kid and Rick Ross have been getting on each other's nerves lately. A fire that Rozay started a little while ago with just one tiny comment got Gillie's attention, and Gillie dissed Rozay for getting all up in his business. Now, Rick Ross decided to come for Gillie Da Kid after he disrespected him. The whole back and forth thing between Rozay and Gillie pretty much started after Rick Ross called Gillie Da Kid a fraud. Why is Gillie a fraud? Well, let's go back a couple of months to figure out what happened. This beef is actually an echo of an incident from May of 2022. What happened then was that Mack Maine, who you might know because he's the Young Money CEO, called out Gillie for falsifying a story about Lil Wayne. Willie and Weezy have been beefing for quite some time, more than a decade in fact. And even though there are no hard feelings between the two lately, according to Gillie's storytelling, the last time he saw Wayne, he was shook. That was at an event at Jackson State University. Mack Maine also said that Gillie was lying about having ghostwriting for Wayne on the Carter One. Here's what Gillie said that got Mack Maine's attention and set up the stage for this beef between Rozay and Gillie. It all took place during a podcast interview with Raquel Harper.
He looked up, I was in the doorway. I said, "What's up, man?" He said,
hit you. Oh, okay.
And got the out of there.
Mack Maine saw the interview Gillie did with Raquel, and he said that Gillie's story doesn't add up. He even posted a video online that was supposed to debunk Gillie's story. And the caption of the video wrote this: Boy, this Hollywood crazy. Please watch both videos and say, Raquel Harper, you know I love you, but please keep us out them type convos. You'll probably never get the truth. I know the name of your show, it's tricky, but don't let them trick you. And if you wrote the Carter 1, who wrote the Carter 2 and 3 and 4 and 5? In the video, we can clearly see the handshake that Gillie was talking about, but we can also see that Weezy was smiling as the two shook hands. So Mack Maine was kind of right about the whole fact that Weezy wasn't shook when he saw Gillie, but still, you can't deny that Weezy got out of there ASAP. Regardless, this debunk video from MM caught Rozay's eye. Being active on social media, he didn't hold back from sharing his opinion. All he had to say about the video was that Gillie was a fraud because he was spreading some false info around. Rick Ross commenting on the Mack Maine posts didn't go unspotted. Since Gillie is now a co-host of a podcast show and he relies on social media a lot in order to further advance his career, he checks his social media on a regular basis. That means that he immediately noticed Rozay lurking in his comments. As a reply, Gillie Da Kid had something to say during his podcast show. On his 175th episode of $1 Million Worth of Game, he had a full-on rant. Listen up to him speak.
These old niggas, they don't hear the roar of the crowd no more, and they still think the world gonna come back, so they be on Instagram and they be on social media doing dumb. I just bought a cow and all this dumb. You buy a cow.
Hey, what? He thought that's just bought a cow.
Yeah, you know I was gonna.
Initially, this was found to be a sneak diss of Rick Rozay, but everyone knew that it wasn't that sneaky at all. It was pretty obvious what was going on. That was pretty direct without saying Ross' name, in my opinion. Definitely wasn't no sneak diss. We all knew who he's talking about. Gillie Da Kid cleared out every last spark of doubt himself. He replied to DJ Ack's post on Instagram saying that it was in fact intended to reach Rick Ross. It's a direct hit, no cap. Ack, this fool ain't no f***ing sneak diss. I'm talking to Ross. He should have never been in Mack Maine comments calling me a fraud. Rick Ross decided to come for Gillie Da Kid after he saw the shots were fired at him. Being a legend in the game, Rozay wouldn't just let this one slide. He hopped on his Instagram and posted a video where he started making fun of Gillie. Rozay ironically said that he got a boss idea as he woke up that one morning. He said that he now wants to start a podcast and that he needs someone who's watching to help him come up with the name for it.
I'm gonna start a podcast. Yep, I'm gonna start a podcast. Dead serious. And guess what? I want you to help me name my podcast. And if I decide to use your name, guess what? I'm gonna bless you with the whole eternity.
But that wasn't the end of it. Rozay has something else to say to Gillie too. He added,
Fellas, let me give you the real game. When I spend more money on my cow huffs than you do on your wife and kids every month, you should take notes. But more importantly, meet my bear.
Rozay punched Gillie Da Kid with some pretty low blows. First, the podcast joke, and then coming at him for being cheap about his wife and kids. Man, that'd be tough. Some Rozay fans think that Gillie should have never said anything in the first place. Gillie should have kept that to himself. However, Gillie wasn't ready to drop the ball now. He had a reply in store waiting for Rozay, and man, did he speak up. First thing that Gillie came up was with the name for Rozay's new podcast. Making fun of his history as a corrections officer, Gillie said that Rozay should name his new podcast Lock It Up. I got your name for your podcast, Rich, aka The Mickey Mouse Show. Your history ain't right to with me. You better leave that alone. After that, he had another message for Ross, and this one was pretty deep and personal. He used his name, he openly told him that he should leave him alone, and that he better stay out of his business.
I'm only gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop playing with me, man. You hear me? And mind your business, man. Because you went on the Instagram page commenting about me, calling me out my name, for no reason at all. I spend more money on my cow's hooves than you spend on your wife. You're probably right, because I ain't bought her a quarter.
A lot of the fans' comments in this video summed up Gillie's arguments and his thinking. He thinks that Ross just went way over the line with the Instagram story, and he should be backing up right now if he knows what's good for him. Money don't unfame a lame, quote of the year. On top of that, Gillie's diss game is straight on point. The way he delivers got a lot of people smiling. Bruh just single-handedly destroyed Ross in a quick clip. His comedy is legendary. This man has the funniest facial expressions in Roast Gang. He might be funny with it, but Gillie Da Kid was angry as he came back at Rozay. You could tell that the things Rozay had to say on his Instagram stories really got to him. You could say that these two started something that seems like a serious beef over something that a lot of people wouldn't even notice. Question we gotta ask right now is, how serious is the beef between the two? Many believe that neither Ross nor Gillie really care that much about the whole deal. They're just doing it for the clicks. Any kind of publicity that they can get out of this works well for both of them. Everyone knows that Rozay is doing good in business for years now. Perhaps he's just trying to get some more attention this way. The same could be said for Gillie. Ever since he started his podcast, he's been craving attention in order to boost his ratings. He's even bragged on one of his Instagram lives how he makes more money than a lot of rappers just by sitting around and talking. That might be true in some cases, but he sure is doing everything in his power to make even more. Perhaps this diss thing with Rozay is all part of his tactic? We can't say for sure, but for now, we gotta wait and see how things develop further. It's clear to us that there's more to this thing than what meets the eye, especially given the type of characters that both of these guys have. But what do y'all think about this whole situation? Is there really a beef going on between these two, or is it just some sort of game between them, made in order just to make them some profit? Let us know your take in the comments section below. And if you like this video, make sure to check out this next one. And as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.